Hey, how's it going, guys? DJ Av here, and I am doing a primer tutorial video for the SoundCraft Signature 10 and for the SoundCraft Signature series because they basically have the same amount of options on each one. The give or take that the multi-tracks versions have grouping and such, and you can multi-track different audio or analog tracks. So the first things first, that a lot of people ask me this question about this unit, and that is for this. It is the AFL and the PFL buttons. So what are the AFL, PFL buttons? They are these right here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you these white buttons on your faders. And what they do, when you get used to it, the unit or not, they give you access to your mono field. So basically you have a choice of mixing in stereo and or mono. So the main thing I wanted to point out is these knobs right here, these auxiliary buttons right here. The whole point of these is that you can route whatever you want to your studio monitors, give or take that that this unit does have a master out and auxiliary out, so you get instant access to that. However, if you use your the auxiliary outs for your studio monitors, you do not have access to these right here, which are your panning. However, your headphones will. Now, how do you get access to it? It's very simple. You see how I have these knobs right here? I have them turned down, and that will route everything to your headphones in stereo. So basically, if I was just to use this pan right here, I can hear that in my headphones. And now I can only hear it on the left, and then if I move it to the right, you can hear it on the right. And you also can see in the monitoring right here in the right hand side. Let me go ahead, because I know that's annoying to you guys. You can see I have stereo access to both the left and the right, so that way everything is effective. So they do work. You'll be able to hear that, of course, after the fact of your mixing and whatnot. But you'll have access to hearing them in your headphones, and it's really key that you get used to it. Another thing is about these ALF and PLF buttons. If you press this button right here, you will see that the monitor is now engaged to the master right here. So you have your master knob, and I'm going to turn the chair a little bit. And you can see you have access to your master knob, and I do recommend that you have it at 0 dB, much like how you would in a DAW. So now you can see that I am monitoring its full potential loudness, and you can see it's in the yellow here, which is quite loud. And then I have a deep voice on top of that, very white. But now you can see that you can monitor everything to its full potential. The next thing I want to talk about again is this right here, which these blue knobs are a representation of your sound effects. So now you can see where the sound effects are. You see you have this blue knob where you can access it, and you have a whole bunch of effects that you could do, but you won't hear the effects. And the reason why you won't hear the effects yet is because you have to mess with this fader knob right here. So you have to turn up your FX return. So now that you can hear it. And a lot of people always ask me, how you get those weird reverbs and effects? Other than me just talking like a weirdo. But that is basically how I do it with the SoundCraft Signature 10. Quality audio effects, in my opinion. So again, if you have this knob, the blue knob here, which is your effects turned down, and you turn up the FX return, obviously you won't hear any effect. But just to get a gentle use of it, you might want to just dial it in from right here and make sure that you have your FX return up, because again, you can have too much reverb and you'll start seeing the peak. So you might not want to burn it out. It might be something that you really want to check out. Another thing that I want to go over is these little red knobs here, your master gain. I usually have everything, I think, at 4 o'clock when it comes to my analog gear. That's just personal preference. Some people may not want their analog gear or their hardware for that matter, to be that loud. And that brings me to this next example that I have right here. So I'm going to access my Teenage Engineering OP1, which is right here. It's just a wee bit of it showing in the camera. I do apologize for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and press play on the OP1, and you will hear nothing. Now, how can I get the audio from my OP1? I need to access my track that has it. So if you're paying attention to this right here, this peak meter, you'll see that something is going on. And if I turn up the fader, you hear the beat. So I'm going to go and zoom in as much as I possibly can here to this track right here, which is 9 and 10. That's where I'm at right now. And this is my audio from the computer being monitored right here. I don't have anything going as of yet. Make sure, if you can't hear the audio, make sure that you have your gain. I personally recommend at 11 o'clock. That's not too loud, but you'll be able to get the peaks of your kicks and stuff like that. I kind of counterbalance that with my favorite album. So you might want to listen to one of your favorite audio albums, either on CD through your computer, and then just gauge how much you want it to peak or whatnot, and then go from there, and then start making your productions based on that mix. Old school trick there. But you have access to all this stuff right here, and you can mix. You have access to your EQ and stuff like that in that track. But you have to make sure, if you're going to record audio, that this button right here is not pushed in. If that button is pushed in, then you are screwed. You will not record any audio into your PC or Mac or whatever. So keep that in mind, that you have that button. Another tip that I want to point out here, again, I use the auxiliary tracks. I don't use the master outs. I could have another pair. You can have 2 pairs of monitors to this audio interface / console and mix that way. But I find it cool to use the auxiliary 1 and auxiliary 2 and just mix in a mono field. And if I want to hear something in stereo, I just listen to it in my headphones. But you can use the master out. You're gonna have to use XLR inputs or chords for that. Also, make sure that you have your auxiliary routers to at least 12 o'clock. I mean, it'll be loud enough. It won't be too loud or overbearing, and it won't kill your ears or whatnot. But that's just personal. You might want it louder. It won't affect your overall mix, except for probably your integrity of how you would guess if something is too loud or too low, if you're not using the master meter. So with that, make sure that these are engaged in, so you get the best use of that. Or you can actually hear the sound. All right, so moving on to FL, and we're gonna record some audio into FL Studio. I'm gonna use Edison. I'm gonna pull up Edison in the insert mixer, and you can just press F9 and it'll pull up the insert mixer, and Shift and E will pull up Edison. I disengage it, and then I use this option on input, so that it will record the input of whatever audio source that I'm using, or hardware or whatever. I'm gonna use my turntables, and we're gonna go and work from there. Now we're gonna select the audio source. One thing that I want to point out here, when you're recording audio into FL Studio, is that you mute this channel right here. Muting that channel will negate some of the feedback that will come, or some of the pink noise from it infinitely recording the audio track. So from right there, I'm just going to go back and we're going to check out FL. We're going to select an audio source. I'm going to select analog 1 and analog 2. Now you can see my voice within FL Studio. And from here, we're going to engage my turntables. Now you can't hear anything, and that's because I need to select my turntable here. You might hear a little bit of white noise. I love that sound. But now that I have that track engaged, I am going to disengage my voice. Yeah! 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 Very, very good. Make sure that you unmute so you can hear the playback from your PC or laptop or whatnot. Yeah! 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 I think that's about it. I just wanted to do a quick video and just kind of walk you through a couple of things. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I will read them and answer them. Hopefully, I will answer all of them. Thank you guys. I really appreciate the love. I am DJ McCree, and that will be it.
Trap Tendo.